Good morning, students. Welcome to class 9 of Applied Component. I am Ms. Benazir Sheikh, Department of Chemistry from NB Mehta Valwada Science College Bordi. Students, in our today's lecture, we are going to discuss about different dosage forms. So let's get started. Students, drugs are rarely administered solely as pure chemical substances, but are always given in formulated preparations. Dosage formulation is the form of completed pharmaceutical product which is administered. The pharmaceutical products can be marketed under many different dosage forms. Let us see some common ones. First is aerosols. Aerosols are suspensions of fine solid or liquid particles in gas. They are used to apply drugs to respiratory tract. For example, it includes sprays which are used in asthma. Second is applications. It's a fluid or semi-fluid preparations intended for application to skin. Third is capsules. Capsules are made up of gelatin or gelatin mixed with glycerol. They are used for unpleasant medicaments. Example, antibiotics. Fourth is colloidins. Colloidins are fluid preparations containing volatile solvents and are used for external preparation. A protective film covers the site of applications. Example, anti-inflammatory applications. Fifth is creams. Creams are in the form of jellies, lotions, ointments and paste and are used for external applications. Sixth is dusting powders. They are fine powders for external uses. Seventh is drops. These are solutions of drugs to be instilled into ear, eye, nose respectively through a dropper. Eighth is emulsions. Oil is dispersed in flavored water in presence of emulsifying agent. Ninth is enemas. They are suspensions intended for rectal administration. 10th is gels. They are aqueous colloidal suspensions of hydrated forms of insoluble medicaments. For example, Digene, that is gel used against acidity. 11th is granules. They are small, irregular particles often supplied in single-dose sachets, the contents of which are stirred in water before taking. For example, inosalts. 12th is inhalants. They contain volatile liquid preparations used to relieve congestion and inflammation of respiratory tract. 13th is pills and tablets. They are solid dosage forms swallowed through oral route. 14th is suppositories. They are conical or oval solid preparations of glycerol and wax for insertion into rectum, where they melt, dissolve and disperse to exert a local or systemic effect. 15th is patches and adhesives. A specific dose of medicine can be delivered through skin into the bloodstream using a transdermal patch. It is a medicated adhesive patch placed on the skin, which provides a controlled release of the medication. For example, scopolamine patches for motion sickness. So students, here we complete our second chapter, that is routes of drug administration and dosage forms. Now, let us start with the third chapter, that is pharmacodynamic agents. In that, central nervous system drugs. So students, pharmacodynamic agents are the drugs. They are used to correct the disorders in the physiological functions and restore them to normal conditions. Thus, they bring relief from the symptoms of discomfort by either stimulating or depressing the physiological functions which are abnormal. They are used to restore the functions such as blood pressure, blood sugar, body temperature, electrolytes, etc. Students, the drugs which act on central nervous system are known as CNS drugs. Anatomically, the nervous system is made up of CNS and peripheral nervous system, consisting of somatic and autonomic nerve fibers. The central nervous system consists of cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla, and the spinal cord. Functionally, the CNS consists of billions of neurons organized to form several neuronal systems with nuclei and their tracts. Each is concerned with certain specialized functions as motor activity, perception, and regulation of various body functions. These systems are essentially interdependent, and disturbances in any one may produce repercussions in other systems as well. Students, now let us discuss the classification of CNS drugs. Based on their pharmacological activity, the CNS drugs are classified into three types: CNS depressant, CNS stimulant, and CNS modifiers. First is CNS depressant. The drugs which have a depressant action on the central nervous system as its principal pharmacological action are known as CNS depressant. They are of two types: non-selective CNS depressant and selective CNS depressant. Non-selective CNS depressant are drugs which produce a generalized depressant action on the central nervous system. They further includes hypnotics and sedatives, general anesthetics, and central muscle relaxant. Second is selective CNS depressant. These are those drugs which selectively depress certain region or portion of central nervous system. Therefore, they are known as selective central nervous system depressants. They include tranquilizers, analgesics, and anticonvulsant. Second is CNS stimulant. The drugs which stimulate and reactivate the central nervous system are known as CNS stimulants or antidepressant. The CNS stimulants are used for a variety of purposes, such as treatment of depressive state, maintenance of wakefulness, restoration of respiration and blood pressure, and restoration of normal reflexes. These are further classified into four classes: cerebral stimulants, respiratory stimulants, analeptic, that is restorative, psychomotor stimulant. Students, analeptic is a Greek word, analepsis, meaning picking up of those who have been cast down. Hence, analeptic are drugs which stimulate the central nervous system, including the respiratory centers depressed by narcotics. Hence, these drugs have wide range of action. And last is CNS modifiers, also called as tranquilizers. These are the drugs employed in the treatment of mental disorders. They produce a specific improvement in the mood and behavior of the patient. They also decrease psychomotor activity without causing sedation, and hence they are also known as psycholeptics. A tranquilizer should have following characteristics: it should not have toxic effects, it should not produce other undesirable side effects, it should have calming effect without causing sedation, it should not result in unconsciousness. Students, CNS modifiers, that is tranquilizers, are further divided into two types. That is major tranquilizers, which is also called as antipsychotics, and second is minor tranquilizers. Major tranquilizers are used to reduce the agitation and disturbed behavior which are associated with delusion and hallucination in schizophrenia. Reserpine is an alkaloid obtained from the plant Revolvia serpentia, which has been used for a long time in treatment of serious mental disorders. Now, synthetic derivatives of phenothiazine, thioxanthine, indole, butyrophenone, etc. are used. Second is minor tranquilizers. These are anti-anxiety agents which have a calming effect in patients in anxiety state associated with neurotic personality. Students, they are further classified as muscle relaxant and atactics which cause the mind to become cool, calm and collected. So students, in our today's lecture, we have discussed different dosage forms and we have completed our second chapter. At the same time, we have started with a new chapter, that is the last topic, that is pharmacodynamic agents. In that we have discussed the definition of pharmacodynamic agents, central nervous system and classification of CNS drugs. So students, in our next lecture, we shall be discussing regarding the concept of hypnosis and sedation and anesthesia. Till then, take care.